Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod. We have Anis Bennaceur with us today, round two. This last year, the year before that we spoke, he's the co-founder and CEO at Attention. Attention is all about AI agents nowadays, probably the most fascinating topics to me. Anis, if you didn't know, has a background at Tinder. He was growth at Tinder. Was from Paris or has lived from Paris at least for some good amount of time. He's also an angel investor. He's co-founded Mixer and exited it. So a pretty cool guy altogether. This podcast is presented to you by podper.com. If you want to start an AI podcast and have agents do the heavy lifting for you, we have a nice ebook and a masterclass on our website teaching you how to do that. So podper.com. Anis, welcome to the pod again. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what's been new at attention.com.
Yeah, 100%. So I've been a founder for the last 10 years. I spent 6 years over at Mixer, and then after selling it, I moved on to starting Attention. And so really kind of like, not to repeat what I said in the first podcast and the prior episode, but we started out, capturing calls to fill your CRM. And over time, what we started doing more and more was building workflows and AI workflows specifically for clients. And, you start taking a small piece of the work and you automate it. And then over time, you increase it a little more and you increase it a little more. And you keep doing more and more of that work until you cover the entire work end to end. And so this is what we're doing today with the AI agents, right? You start with humans in the loop and then you remove the humans over time, just so that you end up automating entire segments of functions, right? So I can give you a few examples. When you're looking traditionally into sales organizations, you have a lot of people who are working in enablement, in revenue operations. You have a lot of managers and managers of managers and so on, whose entire jobs are to just kind of like inspect, report, and alert. And so at the end of the day, how can you automate a lot of this so that you won't necessarily eliminate the functions, you'll just make them 100x more productive, right? So, hey, let's say now you have two managers that can do, or two enablement people, or two sales ops that can do the work of 20 sales ops, or even over time 200 sales ops. So it's really kind of like, how do you automate end-to-end work? And some precise examples include win-loss analysis on your entire pipeline, having a pipeline report, understanding, hey, over the last 6 months, how are prospects perceiving us and perceiving our brand compared to these competitors? How has that changed? In a traditional world, you'd have analysts going through conversations and transcripts and so on, and emails to understand what is being said and prepare those reports. In this new day and age with Attention, it will take you 5 minutes to generate all of this with an incredible accuracy, right? So this is kind of like how Attention automates end-to-end work by taking all the manual things that you're doing, integrating with all of your different systems, not just your CRM, but also capturing your calls, capturing your emails, capturing your Slack messages. If you're able to get your text messages or your WhatsApps into your CRM, we can also capture that as well. We have over 200 integrations, and throughout those integrations, we'll be able to get all the data, unite it, orchestrate it, and deliver you your right reports and alerts at the right time.
Right. And why don't you have a self-serve on the website? Is there still like lots of manual work on the back end, or do you just work with like enterprise clients?
Yeah, our clients are larger, right? If you look at the logos, they include companies like Scale AI, Bamboo HR, Bridge. And so these companies are relatively big, and that's where we function the best, which is capturing a lot of amount of data and automating the insights out of those, right? If you have a small team, at the end of the day, it's not going to be as useful because you're going to be sitting with your peers in the same room. You're going to be sharing the information. That's not going to be as useful for you as if you're a larger business. And so really, yeah, that's kind of like the types of clients that we serve, A, but also B, if you want to do this job right, you really have to cater to your clients. You really have to understand what their stack looks like, what their processes look like. And so when you get started, we'll set you up with an account manager who will understand your business and really cater to your business, which is something that typically, self-serve products don't have the ability to do.
And you're known to hire pretty good people on your team, day players, notably. Do you think these will be replaced by AI agents pretty soon?
Which players?
A players in your team. Do you
Oh,
think that your AI agent will actually replace these folks pretty soon?
I don't think so. I think that for a while, okay, the way I view the world is that it's not going to replace functions. It's going to just empower the functions, right? So if you have a really good revenue operations person in your team, they're going to have an army of agents doing the work for them, but still, you need an expert in the team to be able to get them to do what they want them to do, right? The ideation and the creativity and the thinking, the initiative has to come from someone, right? Um, you still need humans. You just need most likely fewer ones, and AI won't get rid of your A players. It will most likely get rid of your C players. And as a company, maybe we'll see what B players are.
Right. And agents, does it have full agency? Can it just run by itself, or is more like a chat GPT and just chatting with the smart AI that's sales oriented?
I think we're still in the early days of this, and I think clients, at the end of the day, it all revolves around what clients want, and what clients want is for now to have control on things. They don't want these agents to do things in a fully automated fashion. They want to be able to tell them to do what they need them to do, and then over time, we'll see them trusting these to happen more and more, right? I'll give you an example. Some of our clients, for example, they want to know every week what is happening around competitive intelligence, right? Um, our AI agents will capture all that's needed and serve it to them once a week. Why do they want to do this once a week? Because they want to inspect this, learn it before they push it to an enablement knowledge base. I think over time they will start trusting it more and more to the point where they will tell us, hey, look, I don't need to be validating this anymore. I will want it to just automatically update our knowledge base based on what we're learning every single week.
And
And that's
you're
fine. Yeah.
and you're still bullish about doing manual stuff to teach that AI how you thought and what output you want from it later on.
Yeah. I think that the world is really moving towards reinforcement learning, and so you do need a big part of human in the loop to keep telling the AI what direction to go and what to do, and so that's what's going to, at the end of the day, create the moat, a strong moat for a business like ours, which is really understanding what is the actual um, truth and accurate representation of the world based on what the clients want. And so yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And what's next on the roadmap? Like, what can we expect from attention? And are you that leader in that field? Like, who are you competing against?
yeah, 100%. I think on our roadmap we're building. So we're releasing this year over 100 different AI sales agents that do the work end to end, right? Um, these are really specialized agents in specific fields, right? Like your competitive intel analyst, your pipeline report analyst. Like you're going to have like these agents to do the end-to-end work, and we're going to be releasing this. Even if we already built them, we're going to release them and stage them out throughout the year. Yeah, we have competitors, right? Like even it's a massive space. So even a company like Salesforce today is a competitor in the sense that they are also doing AI with um, with what they're doing, right? So you have like the incumbents, those types of companies, and then you have new players in the space who are also trying to build similar solutions in at the bottom of the funnel. I would say that attention is definitely the most innovative, and okay, I'm biased, but we have been the first company that was able to autofill your CRM back in early 2023, and we're still the first company today that can do this end-to-end work around your sales operations. That being said, we will see competitors, try to copy us and try to, undercut us on price, but I'm not too worried about that.
Right. And tell me about the price point. Is it pure SaaS play or is it customized per client?
Yeah, we really customize it per client, right? So the first thing is that when you're coming to attention, you're paying for a certain amount of users who will be recording the calls and getting some of the basic insights, right? And then if you want to roll out, on top of this, these AI agents, then you're going to be paying on a consumption basis, right? Like how many agents are getting consumed on a daily basis, and you're going to pay for that. If you're not recording the calls on attention but using another call recorder, that's fine. We can still import those call recordings and automate work around them. We just won't charge you the initial seat-based fee. We'll just charge you in a consumption model.
Right. And you talked briefly about your ICP. Like, precisely, are you going after a specific type of company? I've heard mostly AI companies or funded tech startups in your case.
So, like Mambu HR is not an AI company. They have, hundreds of sales reps, and they are a tech company. We have a bit of everything as long as you have a sales team that is relatively large, like at least, over 10 sales reps. Is when you start feeling some of the pains that we're solving for. Generally, the bigger your sales team and the more helpful we're going to be. If you are thinking about ways where you want to sophisticate, your team, you want them to get better, you want them to close more deals, increase your conversion rates, understand what is happening within your org, then we're going to be a great fit for you. Um, the types of companies that we generally don't work really well with tend to be the ones where they have either really low sales volume, right, or they don't record any of their conversations, and at that point, there's not much that we can do to help you.
Right. And how do you navigate competition, like cooperating in competition? Because it seems that Clay is a competitor, but the user viewers at the same time. What are
Clay?
your thoughts about that? Yeah.
Yeah, Clay, we're not really competing, right? Like Clay, they're at the top of the funnel where they help you. Their goal is to help you, automate top of funnel and capture public data, enrich it, and then send outreach messages. Whereas in our case, we're a lot at the bottom. We play a lot more at the bottom of the funnel, right? Like how can we capture the conversations to automate, building a business case, building a demo deck, filling your CRM, pushing the data sales data to the right places. So really, in their case, we're not competing. As a matter of fact, we play together really nicely. Um, we haven't had that many. Where I would say I could see potential overlap. Is with certain companies that are using dialers, right? That they have to innovate, they have to put in AI into their dialers, and so at some point we'll have some overlap in features. but really kind of like for the most basic features where we overlap, I don't think that's a huge issue. It starts becoming more interesting when if these companies decide to roll out AI agents as well.
Yeah, and with an AI agent first future, would there be like AI buying agents? Do you think that would be the reality and a software that could help them transact both and altogether eliminate sales process one day?
That's a really good question. I think that so procurement teams are getting smarter and smarter, and so they will most likely, be having even today, right? Like I'll give you an example. I was evaluating a vendor. I didn't not know much about their space and their competition, so I just used even OpenAI's deep research functionality where I asked it to give me all their competitors and give me a grade of pricings and pros and cons, and that was really interesting. But yeah, I still jumped on the call with the vendor to be able to chat with them and understand in a deeper way how they differentiate, right? And so I think that buyers, instead of having an AI agent buying for them, they will do all of the pre due diligence work using these AI agents to have a really good informed opinion on who the different vendors are before digging a step further and doing some due diligence and going through the demos and all the hoops.
What's next for attention this year? Do you want to raise more capital? What are your top objectives?
Yeah, we'll always have to raise capital, right? Like, last time I was on your podcast, I said that we were going to build a $10 billion business. I think that the only thing that's changed is that we want to build $1 trillion business today. So it's a huge space. There's a lot of opportunity here, and the entire agent play will allow us to do this. So that means that we're going to have to keep growing extremely fast. We're still, we're in the mid seven figures AR numbers, and we're still growing 20% month over month at least. So that means, really good growth. And to keep doing this, we're going to have to be more aggressive over time. So that will require us to raise a Series B and then a Series C and so on, so that we can keep winning the space.
Right. And what's your strategy to keep your sanity in that process?
And I'm not saying. I think about this business night and day. I dream about it. I'm like the hungriest motherfucker that you'll ever see, and we're just going to just be obsessed with this, be obsessed with seeing our customers drive value. And I think the one thing for us to keep doing this well is that we have to keep hiring extremely smart people, only A players who are also in that state of mind.
Do you have time for dating and your girlfriend? What are your strategies to give her some attention? Because I'm the same. I always think about business. I'm obsessed. I'm a hardcore motherfucker. But yeah, what are your relationship tips there, if there are some?
Yeah, I've been with so I'll give a shout out to my girlfriend who's now my fiance. We've been together for 5 years. She's been extremely patient. She's been extremely, she's been very helpful with me in a way that we moved to our new office about 2 months ago. She came on weekends and helped me set up the office over a few weekends, which is great. I think she really deeply listens. And then, look, overall, like over a week, I'll maybe work at the office 3 nights a week, right? I'll say until 11 p.m. midnight. But then there will be 2 nights in the week where I'll go home and I'll have dinner with her. And then weekends, Saturdays, I generally take Saturday off. I spend the entire day with my girlfriend or now fiance, and I give her my full undivided attention there. And then Sundays I go back to the office, and so she kind of knows what she signed up for, and that is just like how things are going. And yeah, if you want to build something huge, I'm just very lucky to have the right partner overall.
Love it. Where can people find out more about you, Anis?
Yeah, add me on LinkedIn, right? That's the best way to find me.
Yes, that was Anis Bennaceur and